So I feel like the imagery is appropriate, but flowers also indicate beauty. It indicates as well a lot of blessings, and especially when you see flowers blooming, I just feel like, it's kind of like a very optimistic, hopeful, beautiful future. Okay, and it jives really well with your energy because you guys are perpetually just very, very optimistic. You always manage to bounce back, and you never, suffer too long with disappointment. So I feel like it's just a very appropriate two messages for you. So I'm seeing, this really cloudy, rainy landscape, and then a certain amount of time has passed, and it's like in this clearing, like a meadow. A certain amount of time has passed, and then the sun starts shining, and you kind of see that sunlight, like that break in the sky where the sun starts to shine through the dark clouds. Okay, and then underneath is this. I see, those white flowers that are just they grow wild on like at the park or just on grass. So it's like a tiny white flower. It looks like a little daisy. So it's blooming, and there's this bee. He comes out of wherever he was hiding after the rain. He came out and he's landed on this flower, and he's looking around and he's just making sure that the surrounding environment is safe. And then you see this little grin on his face. It's like, wow, I've got this flower all to myself. So he's really, really happy. And immediately the message that I got for it was, it seems almost like this really smug sense of satisfaction. This smug sense of somebody feel like they've either got your attention or they've got you to themselves, and they're feeling really, really happy. Like they're feeling like secretly they're very, very happy, but they're not really expressing it, and they're not really going to tell you, I'm just ecstatic to be with you. Or, I've got it. I've landed on this flower. I feel like, I can collect all the pollen that I need, and I'm safe and I'm secure. So that's what it feels like, that really smug smile on that bee's face. Okay. The second thing that I saw is I see this pond, and there's a white lotus flower. So there's a big pond. There's a white lotus flower from here. And then I see this man, he's wearing like a Speedo, and he's about to jump into the pond and swim around. And you're seeing things from, the really close up of the flower. And this man, he does his little swim, thing. And then he gets closer and closer to the flower. He gets to the flower, and then he plucks it, and then he, once again, swims back to shore. So once again, it's like the whole attainment, acquisition, achieving something, getting something, and even getting something or winning something or getting something that you feel is really, really beautiful, that you really want to possess, that you really feel like, I must have it, okay? And so I feel like both of these imagery, the flowers are both white, so it indicates a certain purity, a certain like innocence. And I feel as if you guys might be interacting with somebody that really, really, really wants to have you, okay, in whatever capacity. So, for example, if you're going on a job interview, and I feel this energy could be as well competition, okay? If you're in a job interview, if you are being interviewed along with other people, and especially if it's like a group interview, which can be really, really awkward because, you have to outshine the people that are there without seeming arrogant or without seeming callous, right? But I definitely feel there's a sense of somebody really wants you for the job. It's almost like they feel you have what it takes, and they really want you to be the one that occupies that specific role that they advertise. They feel like you're the perfect fit. And so while you're really looking to land that job, I feel like from the company's perspective or from the panelists' perspective, they feel like they're dealing with a gem, and they see that in you, and they really want to have you, okay? And they're going to be a little bit, it's like they definitely want you. But the way that they go about it, they're not going to they're not going to verbalize that they want you. They're just going to be quite discreet, quite smug, but they definitely want you. And then in the romantic sphere as well, I feel like, you have this innocence and this exuberance and this sense of optimism and buoyancy about you, where you don't really, like I said, you bounce back. You don't let things fester. Whatever you feel, you kind of say it, okay? Like you have a no holds bar approach when it comes to communication, and you really don't hold back. And I feel like in a way you have this childlike innocence about you that somebody really admires, and they want to possess it, okay? They wish they were more like you, and they wish they're hoping that being in your presence, maybe those good traits and those really good childlike optimistic qualities would really rub off on them, and make them feel like a kid again. So I definitely feel somebody is really trying to capture you or trying to attain you. So there's definitely lots of energy that indicates to me like a very alpha person that is gunning for you, that's really eyeing you. And I mentioned in previous readings, Sagittarius men and women are really, really independent. A lot of the times too, you like the chase. You like the chase, and there's nothing wrong with that. If things come too easily for you, it's not exactly fun or exciting. You want it a little bit more if it requires a little bit more work. If it's posing as a challenge for you, I think it makes you, want it all the more. Okay, that's what I'm getting. And I feel like you're dealing or meeting somebody who is exactly like you, who is thirsting after that spirit of adventure, and they want somebody who is not a doormat. They want somebody who will stand their ground, and they want somebody who will, in a perverse way, put them in their place. They don't want a wallflower. They don't want a doormat. They're not looking for the life of the party. So, you don't have to worry about, being so exhausted by dealing with a lot of people. They're not looking for an extrovert. They're not looking for the life of the party. They just want somebody who can hold his or her own, and who will kind of like put people in their place and say the truth that nobody in the room wants to say. Okay, so that's what I'm feeling. And I feel like this person is very attracted to you because of this truthful quality about you, where if you think something, you say it. If you feel like there's an injustice, not only will you talk about it and point it out and draw everyone's attention to it, and just like say like, this is a problem, this is something that we need to fix. Not only will you do that, you will also roll up your sleeves and fix things and get things moving. So I feel like this person admires that quality about you. And the work environment, if it's a job, if it's employer, they really like that assertiveness. They like that, taking initiative. They like that quality about you. And so they feel like you are a perfect match for something, for a position that they would hope one day, they can like plant you in that position and watch you thrive. Okay, I'm seeing new jobs here already. We have here the Ace of Coins, the Ace of Pentacles. And so that's the energy. Both of these images combined indicates to me some type of a victory or some type of a win. It's almost like, I'm the first bee that's landed on this flower. Okay? So there's definitely that spirit of competition. And then in the other image, I'm the first swimmer that, dove into this pond to pluck this flower from really, really far away. And after I pluck it, it's going to be all mine. I'm going to display it in my room, or I'm going to put it in a vase, and it'll be, displayed somewhere very prominently in either my kitchen, dining table, living room table, whatever he's planning to do with that lotus flower. But nonetheless, it indicates to me the whole concept about being first, okay? Being the first to experience something, being the first wave of people to implement some type of change, being the first to get there and feel things out. That's what I'm getting. Or being the first to manage a project, manage a program, or manage something that has not been done before. So I'm seeing a lot of newness here in this spread. Let me just get one more card and then I'll talk to you about the energies that are coming through. Okay. I'm going to pull out another card because I had a feeling this Nine of Swords would be coming out. Okay. So I'm going to talk about this first. There is definitely a lot of new energy coming through. But one of the things that you need to be careful about, and I want to just get this out of the way because the rest of the cards indicate to me new direction. But there's something holding you back. What we have here is the Nine of Swords, okay? The Nine of Swords in the traditional Rider-Waite deck is like sleepless nights, okay? This is dealing with a situation where we are doubting ourselves, doubting our capabilities, where the environment that you are in whatever capacity, it can feel a little bit chaotic. It can feel a little bit hostile. It can feel almost like, you know, too many cooks in the kitchen, too many people nagging. One person wants it done a specific way, the other person wants it done a different way. And then when you're working under this person, you've already got your routine, your system down. And then all of a sudden you switch teams and then this person is all like, why are you doing that? And then you're just like, well, I was trained to do it like that. So I feel like there's a situation here where there's like creative differences. And you're trying to accommodate, okay? Because like Sagittarius are amazing team players. So I don't know if you're aware of that, but you guys are amazing team players. You don't take things personally and you understand as well, everybody has their own way of doing things. So in a way, you're a really, really good employee because you're versatile, you're changeable. If you're under a very, very difficult supervisor or manager, or, you know, if you're forced to work with someone who is considered traditionally very difficult by all, they're considered difficult by their colleagues, they're considered difficult by other coworkers, you can still work really well with them because your energy knows how to accommodate. And you understand that everyone has their own way of doing things. So if they're telling you, I want it done this way, if they are straightforward and they can tell you, I want it done this way, you don't mind changing your techniques in order to do it the way that they want. And then if you have to shift gears and work under another person that wants it done a completely different way, you don't mind doing that either. But it's just, I see like conflict of interest, and I also see a situation where there's a lot of creative differences with the people in your environment, and it seems as if they don't have a standardized way of doing something. And it can be really annoying, it could be frustrating. And I feel like you're trying to find a resolution or you're trying to find a solution. And I pulled out two cards to clarify the situation. What I have here is the Emperor. The Emperor is pretty much about standing in your own ground. It's like putting your foot down, okay? And it's sort of like doing the right thing, not upsetting anybody, being kind of like the person that is in charge of a situation, taking charge of a situation, taking initiative. And so I feel like the way that this energy comes in to kind of help you navigate this type of environment where there are too many cooks in the kitchen, this is kind of like telling you to go straight to the source, okay? So whoever your higher up is, go straight to that person and do exactly what that person says. And then if you have to switch gears, you know, a month from now when you're under a different supervisor or you're working with different groups or you're working with a different procedure, that's when you will adapt your style. So in the meantime, go to the source of authority so that you can do things the proper way without letting this energy kind of constantly nip at you. Does that make sense? It's going to require whatever new things, protocols, procedure is being implemented in the workplace right now. It's not going to last long. They're going to tweak it. They're going to continue to improve it. It's going to get better. But we are dealing with this frustrating Mercury retrograde energy, and it's going to come to an end. So whatever this situation is where there's creative differences and people can't really agree on a standardized way of doing, it's going to be revisited. And then the higher ups will be made aware that this situation is very tenuous and we need to do something to fix it. And then everybody will come in. This is the death card in the reverse, which means they're coming back in to defer to the judgment of this person. And this person will be smart enough and proactive enough to find a standard procedure, a standard mode of operation that everyone can agree on, okay? So in the meantime, I would say let this energy ride out, okay? It's going to kind of work itself out, and I feel like by the end of this month, it's going to be fine, okay? There is going to be a happy resolution and a compromise and a ironing out, I feel, of all these creative differences, okay? So for those who get easily frustrated when you're like pulled in different directions, or you're in a situation where people can't really agree on one way of doing things and they waste a lot of time trying to decide, I feel like that waste of time, it really irks you. And so just try to be patient, and especially try to sort things out, try to let things sort themselves out, excuse me. I'm definitely getting a new job situation here, which is really, really good. I have the Fool, new energy, judgment, newness, as well as new contact, new information. And then we have on the heels of that, the Ace of Coins, which is a new job, okay? A new income generating opportunity, a new job, a job offer that's potentially coming in, or you are at least moving for a job, or you're getting feedback, you're hearing back from whoever about a job that's made available to you. So for those of you who have been kind of like looking for work, who are also, I'm feeling, I have people who might be thinking about relocating. If you have sent out applications and you have your eyes set on a specific job in a different geographical location, this energy is going to be so amazing for you. Now, Sagittarius, you are ruled by the planet Jupiter, and Jupiter deals a lot with foreign travel, foreigners, any types of a career that you get into that allows you to travel, or any time you kind of pick up your bags and tell yourself, like, I'm done with this situation. I'm going to move and then let the winds kind of take me where it may. That sense of optimism and that sense of thirst for adventure and your ability to kind of roll with the punches, it's really going to work out in your favor. So I feel like many of you have let go of, clinging onto a specific location, clinging onto a specific situation, and you're letting kind of like releasing that energy, and you're exploring a new path just to see what's available for you. Those of you who are in the midst of major transitions, especially geographical relocation, these things are going to work themselves out beautifully. You're being helped by the divine, and you're going to be offered, I feel like, work that is really much in alignment with your passions right now. So I definitely feel, if you have recently interviewed for jobs, I have good news coming through in the work environment. And I definitely feel as well, travel, movement, with the Six of Swords. This is like traveling to a safer water. It's going to be made available for you, but in the meantime, I feel like the offer is definitely there. The logistics behind the scenes of when it's going to happen, what date, how do I kind of clean up, compartmentalize, put all of my things in little boxes so that I can either metaphorically transition into the new place or even physically transition into the new place. The logistics behind the scenes have not been worked out yet. And so I would say, bask and enjoy this, bask in the light of this good news, enjoy the moment, just, really let it sink in. But I just want you to know, don't be frustrated with the logistics. The logistics might even need to work themselves out in the time of Aries, which is going to run. This is the card of forward movement and momentum coming in for you. So in the meantime, don't worry about the logistics, okay? Just kind of like let things sort themselves out. So I feel like everything is pointing in this direction. Like it's almost like all paths leads to the same destination, which is really beautiful, I feel, in a way. So I was talking to somebody, and she was telling me that, so, when she was in her 20s, she applied for a job, and she got accepted. Well, she applied for two jobs. She got accepted for one of them, right? And then she took the other job because she felt like it was more in alignment with her. And then a few years down the line, she this job became available again. And so she was telling me how, all roads pretty much leads to the same destination. It's just a matter of, do I want to, accept this job in my 20s, or do I want to accept it further down the line when I'm like in my late 20s? Okay, so I feel like there's something here where things are converging. Things are moving and kind of like joining and converging. So you're possibly getting a lot of synchronicities. You're possibly getting a lot of do-overs, or you are getting like a lot of confirmation that you're on the right track. Okay? That something long awaited for is definitely happening for you, and there's definitely new work. And I feel like this work is really going to stir your passion, and it's really going to make you feel like very amped up to go to work every day. So what I have here is that little heart. Okay, this is sort of like something that really, really speaks to our heart, to our emotions, to our sense of passion, and to our sense of belonging. So if you've been kind of adrift, like this Fool card, just kind of feeling things out, trying to go on a hike, like going exploring, okay? And you're just like, when am I going to find a place where I can rest my bones? I feel like there's something here coming into the picture that will kind of calm and wash away that sense of restlessness that you've been feeling for the past few years. Feeling like you're constantly, on the go, on the move, trying to find the next destination, not feeling like you 100% fit into any type of an environment. I feel that there's something here converging, and the paths, new paths, are especially paved for you so that you can seamlessly transition into it, and you can feel a lot calmer. You can feel a lot more like, this is where I belong. This is where I can unpack my bags. This is where I can stop living out of a suitcase. This is where I can, finally have a place where I can rest my bones, but make it homey, where I can put pictures up on the walls, where I can, kick off my shoes and really, really feel at home. So there's this sense of homecoming. It's really, really beautiful. The other thing that's coming through, and this is what I really wanted to talk about, the first card that came out, we have the World. Many of you are getting over phobias, okay? And I don't know why I said phobias, but when this card came out, I was just like, yeah, somebody is overcoming a lot of fears. So you see that little bubble, the little bunny is in the bubble. Now bunnies are quite timid, okay? They're survivor animals. They keep to themselves, and they know how to, escape bad situations. Okay? And when it's in a protective bubble like this, I almost feel like, the bunny's foot, for example, it's a symbol of luck. It's a symbol of like just really, really strong, what I would call like divine interference or divine protection. Because you guys take risks, but you guys take calculated risks, but you guys also have a lot of protection, people watching over you to really protect you from making mistakes, or to really protect you from getting hurt, getting harmed, okay? And then I also feel like, the past few years, I feel almost like it, whatever you've experienced for the past few years, it brought about a lot of restriction. So then you became a little bit more calculating and methodical about the choices and the risks that you make. It also like brought about a lot of responsibility, where you feel like, I had to stay in this job for financial security. And so your sense of freedom of movement, wanting to explore, wanting to, take risks, it has been really dampened the past 3 years. And then moving forward, what I feel is, you guys are overcoming your phobias. You're no longer letting fears hold you back. You're stepping out of your comfort zone. There's definitely lots of free flowing energy in this Fool card. You're closing out cycles, okay? You're busting yourself out of this protective bubble in order to really immerse yourself in life and really allow yourself to enjoy life. And then I also feel like, whatever fears you've had that's really held you back, we're coming to the end of the cycle, because what's coming through as well, sailing over financial, troubles. If you have had to live like nickel and diming yourself because finances has been a little bit scarce or a little bit on the low end in the past few years, you're seeing a major big income jump. It could come about as a result of this new job, where it brings about like an escalation when it comes to your status, your capabilities, as well as your income generating potential. So I definitely see a major, huge income jump here. And I'm seeing some people thinking like, wow, now I can, save up and buy a house. So that's what I'm really feeling. So if in the past you've been, bouncing from place to place and feeling like I don't really fit in anywhere, I haven't really found that job that really stirs my passion. We definitely have it in the picture, and I feel like you're going to be. It's almost like it's so perfectly made for you. It's aligned for you. The people that hire, they want you in it. They see you as the perfect fit. So not only do you feel that it's a perfect fit for you, the other people know that you're the perfect candidate for that job. So it's a situation where things just kind of mesh up like a jigsaw puzzle. The pieces fit together perfectly. And the stars have to align for the pieces to fit perfectly. So this is not a fluke. This is not an accident. This is all just divine timing coming together. Okay? So you're on the right path. Don't doubt yourself. Don't let this overthinking energy, thinking the worst, doubting your capabilities. Do I have what it takes? Okay, so don't let this negative self-talk, like all those little ghosts in the closet in the back, don't let it resurface, and don't let it chip away at your self-esteem. You're more than capable. And not only are you capable, this is something that is divinely guided to come into the picture for you at the right time. Because like I said, all the stars have to align. Jigsaw puzzles, it's hard to find the perfect fit, but this is a really, really good fit. On the other side of the coin, what's really interesting, we have a lot of mirroring effect, okay? We have here the 10 of coins, and then we also have the 10 of cups. This is total emotional satisfaction, emotional stability, and this is sort of like celebrating your victory and gushing and just being really, really, really happy with situations in your life, and then having somebody to share that with. Having somebody that you can tell somebody that you can tell the story of, look at what's happening in my life. I'm so happy, I'm so elated, I'm so ecstatic. And they are 100% just like happy for you. Okay? There's no pretenses. This person is genuinely happy that you're doing well. And I feel like, your optimism, your joy, your happiness, your contentment is really rubbing off on them. Okay? So I feel like many of you have really, really just worked your butts off, is what I'm feeling, to create something. And it's coming into the picture in a really fruitful way. Like it's generating money. It's making you really, really proud of yourself. It's made you definitely push you beyond what you thought were your limits. Okay? I'm seeing like possibly a lot of late nights, working really hard into the night, working overtime, staying really, really late, being the last one to leave the office, sleeping really, really late at night, and just kind of like going through the motions. And now you're starting to see the fruits of your labor. You're starting to see things manifest for yourself. And you're really, really happy and proud of your accomplishment. And I feel like you have somebody in your environment that you're really celebrating this major new chapter of your life with. Okay, so it makes it that extra special. I'm really happy to see this for you, Sagittarius. What we have here is a Three of Wands, and this is sort of like waiting for your ships to come in, okay? The final stages, the final finishing touches, the logistics that needs to be worked out behind the scenes, those things are in the process of being worked out. So don't focus on this energy. Don't focus on what you're waiting on. Focus on and really, really enjoying the moment, sharing this. And you're just like, oh, when am I going to move? When will the human resources person contact me with the exact start date, with the exact salary, with the, pension package? When is that going to happen? It's going to get delayed, so don't focus on that. Focus on the here and now, which is, what do I want to do? How do I want to spend, my last 2 months here? Which friend do I want to go visit? Do I want to host like a party at my house, or do I want to individually travel and see each of them in, on their own turf or on their own time? So I would say focus your energy right here, because this is where you are going to feel really, really happy. Let the logistics, the behind the scenes, the things that are going to come into the picture will come into the picture. And I'm seeing like April is not going to be apparent, or it's not going to get resolved anytime in the March time frame. Okay. So I have some other things here, that you have this person that's in your life, and we have here an air sign. So let me talk about this first. So air sign, very prominent air sign, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. It's wedged in between this Ten of Cups, Ten of Pentacles, and it's wedged in between as well, the Ten of Cups. So I feel like this is somebody that is very, 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 that you really, really like, okay? And I don't know why, but I'm getting, air signs in general, they're not like touchy, feely, warm, cuddly types of people. They're not, okay? They definitely have the capability of doing that with people that they love, because we all want to get really intimate with the people that we love. But right off the bat, this is not a warm, cuddly type of a person. It takes them a really, really long time to warm up to a person, okay? So let's look at the way this card fell out, because whenever we have a card in a spread, we always want to think about, like, why did this card come out rather than the Queen of Swords, for example. Okay, so this is somebody who really, really loves animals. Okay, there's a bird on his shoulder. This is also somebody that I feel they do hold back. They have warmth and affection, but they take a really, really long time to trust another person. And then I also feel like this is somebody that's out there trying to find or trying to build their financial stability. And air signs are generally not homebody or, very family oriented, but it's wedged between the Ten of Coins and the Ten of Cups. So this is somebody who is very, very, very family oriented. They're all about family, making sacrifices for family, caring for family, wanting to be around family. So if you were thinking geographical location changes, this person might need to consult with their family. So I feel like, they'd rather be close to family than rather than being further away. And they're a little bit more of a, like they take the safe route, because air signs, especially the kings, they're very, very strategic with the way they do things. So right off the bat, I'm feeling somebody who's really family oriented. When they date, they don't, go around socially date and, have like the stereotypical one night stand, short term flings. They're out there to date, to find the one to marry, to bring home to mom and dad, and, to build a family with. So they're looking for a specific caliber of people that they date. And so I feel like this is somebody you definitely like. I think you're the bird bringing this little token of either a gift or a token of appreciation to this person. And they definitely are eyeing you, okay? And I feel like this might be somebody like that bee, because bees have wings, they fly, and I usually associate that with like air energy. The bee that lands on that white flower. So this is somebody that I feel like they see your innocence and your naivety, but I don't feel like you're naive. You're just very innocent in the way that you care about somebody. You don't keep scores. You're not vindictive. You don't sit there and, strategize. This is somebody that strategizes. So one could say they are a little bit calculating when it comes to their actions, what they say, what they do, how they court you. They definitely have strategies up their sleeves. Okay, so like they sit there and ponder about their next move. So they're like 5, 6 steps ahead of the game. And I feel like you're bringing in this fresh breath of air into their lives because you're just so innocent, and they really really like you. But like I said, this is somebody that wants to, bring somebody home to meet mom and dad. They want the whole 9 yards. They want the relationship. He's letting his sword down, so this can be male or female, letting their sword down so they're no longer fighting with you. They adore you. And I feel like it's gonna I think you like them a lot more. Not that they don't like you, but they're so strategic that it takes them a really, really long time to allow. If things have been especially confusing with this person, there will be messages of love, intimacy, wanting to commit, and they're going to be showering you. This is literally in the shower, okay? That pentacle showering. They're going to be showering a lot of love and affection towards you. So you're going to be, whatever that self-doubt is, okay? You're going to be selling away from it. Whatever situations you've had with a crush, and I especially see this as somebody who's a crush, you're going to be moving away from that, okay? So there's major escalation, major revival in relationships, a major kind of like a truce, an understanding about how somebody really feels about you, and they're going to make it known through their actions. They're going to communicate with you a lot more. They're going to be a lot more emotionally available to you. They're going to be more physically available to you. So if you feel like their presence has been really scarce, or they're just kind of in and out, this denotes kind of like the end of that, where they are going to be showering you with a lot of love and affection. Okay? I have some amazing things here, Sagittarius. I'm really happy for you. We are shifting from this really uncomfortable Piscean energy towards the end of the month. We're heading into Aries, which is, your fellow fire sign. The energy is going to feel a lot lighter, okay? It's going to be more fun, more exciting, less emotional. But overall, you're going to be really, really happy. So I'm really glad to see this for you. So best of luck with everything, okay? Let me know how this plays out. Some of you are still like emailing me about private readings and things like that. I do read those emails. I haven't had time to respond to them, but for those of you who have emailed me, you do know that I do respond to them and I read them, and I do appreciate them. If you're interested in booking a reading, I do have a link in the description box below. It's for a psychic. Her name is Bridget. She's based out of California. I highly recommend her. She's pretty phenomenal. I've used her services for the past 2 years, and I've recommended her to my friends and family members too, and they gush about her. Okay, so if you're looking to get a reading for yourself, I highly recommend her. The link can be found in the description box below. I wish you all the best, Sagittarius. Things are really looking up, and just ride this energy. Okay, I'll talk to you guys soon.